Make it stop! Please, make it stop! Hello, everybody. Welcome to my video review of The Walking Dead, Season 7, Episode 3. This one is called The Cell. And if you couldn't tell from that, I've obviously had that song stuck in my head for the better part of this whole week. Literally, it was stuck in my head. I was humming it at work all day the next day. Not because it's a bad song per se, more because I typically, like most people, don't don't enjoy hearing the same song over and over and over. That's more of what broke down, and it's also a very cheerful song. Like it's all happy and everything's great, and we're on Easy Street. Everything's all fun, champagne, gravy, gravy train. But I thought that was a fundamental part of the episode, and that was part of their way of breaking Daryl. And spoilers abound if you have not seen the episode. Don't watch this if you haven't seen the episode. Although you should probably, I would think you would know that already if you did not watch an episode of the show, not to watch a review of said episode. Without further ado, we will the opening Who's the Boss theme playing while Dwight is basically going through the daily life there at the sanctuary. He's making himself, I believe, a fried egg sandwich and watching Who's the Boss. And in contrast to that, he takes a stale bread and dog food sandwich to Daryl, who is made to listen to Easy Street endlessly in a loop. Which I could tolerate for a little bit, but I mean, after a while, I'm like, turn this crap off. Like, really. Which is the point. They're trying to break him. Somebody also pointed out that it's kind of like a Pavlov's dog theory. The only side the way when they play the music and the food comes, learn to associate it. But I just think it's pretty much fundamentally being used to break him, which is not really working so far. Not that we can notice. So I have Daryl is locked in the cell. He is nude, ladies, forced to eat dog food, sandwiches, and listen to Easy Street on repeat, nonstop. Who's the boss? Now, so I did not notice this I did not pick this up in the episode. The guy in the background who's arguing, one of the saviors, and he takes his shirt off and throws at the guy. Apparently, he winds up dead, and in the little Walker defense area, little Walker yard. So I thought that was interesting. I do the play along app, they answer questions and whatnot, the story sync. So that pointed out, I'm like, oh, okay, that guy in the background who was overshadowed by Who's the Boss. Sorry, I've been battling a cold for the past week. So we have that. Apparently he was listed as hungry savior on StorySync, so he apparently really wanted food, and he didn't really wanted more than he was offered, or he didn't have enough, and so he got confrontational and wound up on the spikes. Now, another interesting Easter egg tidbit, fun fact, if you will. Daryl's shirt has an A spray painted on it. Now, where have we seen that popping up before? Oh, gee. Terminus Hunters, maybe? The train car that Rick and them were in had the A written on it. It was train car A. That's how they, their system, all their train cars were marked A, B, C, D, etc. And then they later, when they returned Bob to them after eating his foot, damn me, they they put an A on the church because they were all in train car A. Everybody, the exception of Carol, who I don't believe was in, and Tyrese. Tyrese wasn't in the car, or Judith, obviously. Carol was. I don't know if Carol was in the church. I don't think so. So there's that. But there's also another time where we see A is at the party in Alexandria. Sam is stamping people's backs of their hands with the letter A, kind of signifying that whoever stamped is in the club. That's what they said. Now you're in the club. You're in the club now. So we've seen A repeatedly in this show. Now we're seeing it again. What's its significance here? Probably not much more than just a marking system, because the other saviors who were in the putting the walkers in the little area, yard, whatever you want to call it, they had different letters spray painted on them, but the A is very significant. Thought that was worth bringing up. Hey, so Dwight takes Daryl to where the doctor is. Sherry took a pregnancy test, negative. Now, if those of you who don't know, Sherry was Dwight's wife. She was the woman who was with him in the forest when Daryl bumped into them. Always Accountable in season 6. Haven't seen her since. Negan tells Dwight he can have her or any woman he chooses if she consents, because he has earned it. Dwight disagrees, says he has not earned it. I like the little nod Negan said to Dwight, like, is everything okay down there? Your penis? I just thought that was funny. That guy gave me quite a chomp. So, referencing to Eugene, doing his thing. I thought that was hilarious. Just the way it was worded, the way Negan said it was kind of funny. Messing with him, toying with them, maybe tormenting him a little bit. Dwight goes after Gordon, who's a savior who's running away. Even though Negan says he's earned it and doesn't have to, that just send Fat Joe after him. Or knows he can use the exercise. Now, this could potentially be a test from Negan to see if Dwight will to be like, okay, yeah, I won't go. Fine, let him go. Or if he'll go. And I think Negan sees him standing up and taking action. So I think he sees that as a positive. Daryl's cell is left slightly ajar by Fat Joe. Daryl uses that as a way to escape. Sherry warns him and says that you go back, there's nowhere you can go. And it was a test, and he got surrounded by Negan and his men. Negan proceeded to ask all his men, "Who are you?" To which they responded, "Negan. We are Negan." And prompting the quote from the trailer, "I'm everywhere." And a little fake guy where he almost Daryl, but he did not. And Lucille is not thirsty today, but I am. Dramatic pause. So I'm gonna get a drink. To which Daryl gets into a scuffle with Negan's men and winds up back in the cell again. Dwight catches up to Gordon after nearly being pulverized by a walker that fell off a bridge. Gordon refuses to go back. Basically saying there's nothing back there for me, and just no point in me going back. So eventually, Dwight says, "Oh, I won't hurt you, but I'll hurt everybody you care about." So he relents and starts to go back. Dwight realizes that he shouldn't do it, so he shoots him in the back, which did two things. Excuse me. It got him off Negan, took Negan, because he didn't make up a story. So he came after me, so I shot him, and he put him back up on the spike yard fence scenario as the part of the defensive perimeter, and it also allowed him to put Gordon out of his misery in a way to appease both sides of the situation. He lets him go. Negan's not gonna like that. If he takes him back, Gordon's gonna probably do the same thing again. And Dwight doesn't want to be the person to torment his loved ones, so he ended the whole thing there. Dwight shows Daryl the Polaroid of Glenn and plays a Roy Orbison song. So we go from Easy Street to a Roy Orbison song, notably Crying. Negan gives Daryl a backstory about Dwight and Sherry, that Negan was going to marry Tina, the girl who had diabetes who died, and they ran away. Dwight pleaded not to hurt Sherry, so he was going to just kill Dwight. Sherry said she'd marry him if he spared Dwight's life, to which he did, but he gets the iron, which is why his face is all lovely scarred. I like that whole bit. I Walker Kill of the Week, Dwight with the crossbow in the beginning of the episode. And my top 5 moments, 5 is Daryl's shirt with the A, symbolic. 4, Dwight showing Daryl pictures of Glenn's bastion head while playing Roy Orbison. 3 is Dwight, Mercy, and Gordon. 2 is the backstory with Dwight and Sherry. And 1 is Daryl trying to escape. I'm going to give this one a 9.5. Just because I thought it was really well done. Great to see Negan again. Great to see the Sanctuary for the first time. That's another highlight. And in case any of you missed the song, and this moment, Daryl really broke down and was really, really crying because he blames himself. He blames himself for Glenn's death, which I do and I don't. I can't blame him for the way he took action, manned up. And who doesn't love Roy Orbison, really? So that's a little bit of my musical taste, and until then, I will do my predictions video after this. But play me out. Anyway, great episode, and I'm really looking forward to episode 4. 90 minutes, and we're on Easy Street, guys. Okay, enough of this. Peace out, everybody.